Hello everyone. As you can see from my background, I did make the move up north, and I want to say thank you for all of the really nice comments I got about me moving, and also all the suggestions of where to eat and stuff to do in Leeds. So thank you. I didn't reply to everyone in my last video because it's been pretty hectic, but thank you. I'm extremely grateful. The only thing to say about the lineup really is that we were missing Soufal due to injury, and we had Ben Johnson in his first Premier League start, which I wasn't too worried about. When he's played, he's been pretty good. And you know what? Spoiler alert, he was pretty good. I thought he had a fairly good game today, no real complaints. First half, we were spot off in my opinion. I think Rebecca's word of the day is zippy. We were all over the pitch, we dominated the ball, we had so much possession. I think at one point it was about 74% to Everton's 24%. Or thereabouts, that maths might not work, but it was close. I don't do maths. The only time Everton looked dangerous was on the counter, but apart from that, we absolutely dominated in the first half. Excitingly, Souček looked back on form for me. Might not have been 100% perfect, but he seemed more switched on. His tackles, his passes were of Souček of old, which, you know, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I found quite sort of frustrating. Watching him, he was tired, he was lethargic, he just wasn't himself. But today he seemed more of himself, which I was very pleased to see, as I'm sure all the other fans were. Antonio got a very stupid yellow card for diving. He didn't, he got clipped, but besides the point, the ref wasn't very much on our side again. Another little bit of running theme for West Ham this season. I panicked for the rest of the game because obviously him being on a yellow is not good. I mean, later on Fornal's got a yellow too, and then he made some sort of silly tackle. So it was a little bit concerning all round because, you know, Fornal's can be taken off. Antonio, as you know, we can't afford to lose him. Benrahma had 2 shots, which he absolutely skied them both. Now, I might be got out in the comments for this one, but I wish sometimes, in this strictly in the first half, in the second half he was very good, he would take his time on the ball, because we could afford that time, and I'm almost certain that had he been more clinical and calmer and just taken his time with those shots, that they wouldn't have hit Rosette, but they both flew over, which he's very good. Again, don't come at me too hard because I'm not criticising him as such. I just wish he wouldn't rush so much when he was on the ball. My only issue with the first half is we did not in any way capitalise on our possession at all. You know, as I said, we had so much possession, we dominated so much in the first half, but we just couldn't finish. And for me, it felt like this was going to be one of those games that if we didn't take advantage at some point, either it was going to be 0-0 or Everton were going to get in and they were going to score. So that was my only criticism, because I thought we played really well. Like I said, it's just, we just didn't capitalise on it. Souček did get a goal towards the end, but it was offside, which was gutting because it was just offside, and it was a really good goal in a really tight space. It's really good from Souček. So going back to what I said, he seems more himself, which we all love to see. The second half, I think we had a very scrappy first 10 minutes. And then after that, we kind of regained the flow, like the fluidity we had in the first half. Beautiful header from Ogbonna, which came from a corner. Now, talking of set pieces, we hadn't scored from set pieces. I think this was our first goal from set piece this season, but as usual, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Pickford said it was a foul, so it shouldn't have been a corner, but it wasn't a foul. I don't know what you think. Again, you can come at me in the comments, but Antonio didn't lead with his arm. It was a fair challenge. They both went for it. As far as I could see, Pickford didn't get his hands on it, so it was a challenge. It wasn't a foul. So from that corner, a beautiful, like I said, header from Ogbonna, which is just what we needed at that point. You know, it was deserved. It was absolutely deserved, but it is what we needed at that point. Souček did get taken off, but this is a really weird one, and there's been a lot on Twitter about this, and I've seen him afterwards. He got trod on, and the ref didn't stop play. As I said, the ref wasn't really leaning in our direction anyway, but play didn't stop, and it was really bad. And as we know, Souček doesn't usually ever come off. Like, he carries his war wounds with pride, and he just carries on playing no matter how much he's bleeding. But there was blood everywhere, and it looked genuinely terrible. but the ref didn't stop play, and I don't understand why. Because at first, it was a head injury. It was 100% head injury. Also, how that wasn't a foul, I'll never understand. He literally trod on him. Do not get it at all. And as I said, seeing him at the end of the match, his eye and the bridge of his nose, like he could have been blinded. Genuinely, it was so bad. I don't get how it wasn't a foul. So no idea how the ref didn't do anything more with that. Mentions, as I always like to. Zuma was absolutely fantastic. Now, Ogbonna was absolutely fantastic because he gave us that clean sheet and that header, and that was fantastic. But Zuma blocked so many shots with his body. So many shots. He was such a rock, especially in the second half. Absolutely fantastic. I know I rave about him almost constantly, but he is so good. Also, we need to talk about Declan Rice. I can't do this video, and you've seen the thumbnail, I can't do this video without talking about Declan Rice. Dominated that midfield, and he just led the team so beautifully. He made so many runs forward. So for all those people out there who criticise him and says he doesn't move forward, he only passes from side to side. Again, I know I said this in my last video, but you're wrong, and you're probably blind. So wrong. He's just so talented, and there isn't a video I won't sit here and say how lucky we are to have him, because he just enhances our team unbelievably. He is so good. Yarmolenko got his contractual, I'm going to call it contractual, because he got his contractual 1 minute on the pitch. So he earned his ridiculous wage by coming on, and then as soon as he got on the pitch, he lost the ball. So he did what Yarmolenko does. So that's fine, he earned his money. Overall today, we played really well. And I think my only real criticism of us is that we just struggle to finish sometimes. We struggle to have the finesse in... We just struggle to have the finesse. I think that's it. We just, sometimes we get the build-up, and the build-up's beautiful, and the play is so good, and it's so fluid, and it's beautiful football. And then we go to shoot, and we just don't have that. We just don't have it in our arsenal to score. And that's the only thing that was disappointing. And we absolutely deserve those 3 points today, because we did work hard. As I said, my only criticism is we just didn't finish and take advantage of opportunities when we created them. But we did create them, and many we did create. It was a very important clean sheet today. I think we will be, if Spurs win this game, I think we'll be 7th in the table. It's important with where we are, and we've got our Europa game on Thursday. It's important that we stay as high up the table as we can at this stage, just to keep us ticking over. I would hate to see us drop down quite far because of all the games that we're playing. But for me, Rice, my man of the match, because I don't know how we would have coped without him today. Obviously, Ogbonna, fantastic goal, but for me it was Rice. As usual, in the comments, tell me who you think yours was, and I will see you Thursday for our Europa game.